I asked myself a question this weekend. Why the heck did I get into sales and why should anyone else? I'm gonna tell you exactly why I did and how anyone can start. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to the channel, and if this is your first time, my name is Zach Collins, of course, and just a little bit about myself. I have been a salesperson and a closer for a very long time. Started at a dealership, made multiple six figures my first year, then went into online sales to again make multiple six figures. And now I train a team of salesmen and a lot of other people to be in sales and do anywhere from $3 to $5 million a year. So thank you so much for clicking on this video and watching, and I hope that it is of value today. It is no secret that today prices are completely outrageous and it's almost impossible to live. Just a prime example of this, the average house in America right now is $416,100. And that's true, Google it. And then of course, just in groceries alone, people spend on average $200 to $300 a week. Then you have to buy a car. Then if you want a family, of course, you have to provide for them as well. It is absolutely insane. These are all things that I had looked up prior to actually getting into sales and getting a new job. And the one question kept ringing in my head: how in the hell am I gonna be able to afford any of those things, making $10 to $12 an hour? So what I did is I started searching for jobs. I went to places like Indeed, of course, using Google. How do I make six figures, right? What degrees are gonna get me there, all that good stuff. And then I came across one application that changed my life forever. Real quick guys, before I get into this, if you are the type of person that wants freedom, wants a life worth living, and you are sick and tired of where you are at right now, make sure and check out the description below. I do have a link for a free training video, how you can actually get started in sales and absolutely crush it. Now, the application that changed my life forever, I was actually on Indeed of all sites, and I was scrolling through multiple different job applications, and there was a lot of them. There was some that were making $15 an hour, some that were making $12 an hour, and a lot that required degrees. Now, I had dropped out of college my first year because I really didn't like school and didn't want to go down that path. So I just kept looking, just kept searching, and I actually came across one application that said $99,000 plus per year, and it required no degree. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think I found it. And that application had actually said, Honda of Jonesboro, car dealership. You can be a sales professional. And I was like, cool, I have no idea what that is, but it says $99,000 a year and I have to be able to afford things. So that's exactly what I'm gonna apply for. Short story here, I actually applied for that job. I went ahead and called them a little bit later after I had applied and scheduled an interview for myself. Now, keep in mind, I had no idea what a salesman actually was, especially a car salesman, and the reputation behind them. I just knew that it was gonna make money and I could do it, hopefully. So I actually ended up going into the interview and talking a lot about my goals and answered a lot of the questions and just really listened to what was happening. I ended up getting the job with no experience, which was fantastic, but I had a long road ahead of me because I did not know what was in store. So with that being said, I actually ended up the first couple weeks just doing training. It wasn't sales training. I wish I would have had that, but they didn't do that. It was just training based off go drive all the cars and good luck. Now, keep in mind too, I was absolutely terrified of speaking to people. I really didn't want to. I was an introvert at heart. So it was a very scary job once I figured out what you had to do. You had to go out, talk to random people and sell them these cars. Now, with that being said, I loved the fact that I could drive the cars every day because it was one step away basically from having to talk to people. But I kept driving the cars and then eventually I had to go out and sell. Now, my very first person that I ended up talking to, if you don't know the story, I'm gonna tell you basically what she did. She rolled her eyes as soon as I introduced myself, and the journey had begun right then and there. So when I went to actually do these things, I realized that there was a lot of work that I had to do. I had to do a lot of studying. I bought different courses. I bought all different types of things, just keep studying, keep studying. I watched YouTube every single day. One of the big things that I did was every single night, I would work a 10 to 12 hour shift in that sales role. And then after that, I would actually come home and study, take notes, do everything I could to just get that much better. And it was a very difficult path, but I did it. And with that said, I actually ended up making over $150,000 my very first year, and I was living nice. Now, the downfall to that is I didn't really have any freedom because I was working at a car dealership, and that's a lot of hours and a lot of grinding. So I actually ended up looking for a bunch of different other jobs and finally came across online closing. And I was able to make the same money, actually a whole lot more, and work way less. And it was super, super awesome. But that was my journey into sales and into everything, and it was a difficult path. It was a super difficult path. But what I'm gonna do for you is I'm gonna lay out 2 paths that you can take and the steps that you can take so you could get into sales, right? But the reason I tell you that story is very simple. Everything is really expensive, and I had to figure out a way to do it, to actually live, to actually be able to enjoy life. Sales got me to that point. That's why I got in it. There was an opportunity for me, not only to make $99,000 plus per year and all that good stuff, but to actually be able to perform how I wanted to. Sales is interesting because what it does for you is it allows you to be commission-based, which means that you get paid solely based on your performance. I believed in myself and I believed in my performance. And I know there's a lot of people out there watching this video right now that feel like they deserve to get paid more. You do work hard. That's why I got into sales, because it actually paid me for the hard work that I did. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna give you these 2 options if you are that type of person that does work hard and you believe that you should earn more for it. So there are really only 2 options that you can do to actually get started. If you would like to go down the same route that I did, which is the hard work approach, you can do that. It will take longer and it will take a lot more work. The only reason that I actually did it is because I didn't know of anything that could be easier. I didn't know about online sales. I didn't know there was multiple different programs that you could actually take that would teach you sales. I didn't know anything about that. But the hard work path is good because you learn a lot of trial and error. And actually, that's one of the reasons that I continue making these YouTube videos, because I want other people to know that there is a second path. And that second path is actually going to a mentor. Getting a mentor, learning and understanding how sales works and how you can do it the most efficient way, which I'm gonna talk about here shortly. Now, what I'm gonna do for you is I'm gonna explain the route I go down and how you could have gone down it too, right? You could go down it today. There is a lot of different sales opportunities that are in constant need of salespeople, and they will hire anyone as long as they are willing to be coachable, number 1. And number 2, of course, be willing to work super hard and they have big goals. So if you want to go down the route that I actually did, all you would have to do is search within your local community or within your local city or whatever the case may be. Search for places that actually have salespeople. And there's a couple different types. There's door-to-door that you could do. That is very hard, but it will give you a very great experience. I know that. I know a lot of door-to-door salespeople and they are absolute killers when it comes to that. Now, the second thing that you could do is real estate. You can apply, but the big caveat to that is you do have to test, you do have to go and actually study to pass that exam. And then once you do, you get your license. And then number 3, of course, you have car salesmen. Car salesmen, you don't have to do anything for. You just simply have to apply and pass the interview. As long as you're not super weird, you can do it and you can get the job. But I will tell you that with car salespeople, there's not a whole lot of training that goes on in those dealerships. So you're not gonna learn a lot unless you work hard. And number 2, the biggest thing is they are always hiring, which is a good thing. They're always hiring, they're always looking for somebody, and they're always looking for salespeople. So it's a really easy job to get, but it is hard to maintain and actually keep. It is a lot of hours, and you do have to work super hard to teach yourself how to close. And then, of course, I'm sure there's multiple different ones out there, like medical sales, insurance sales, all that good stuff, but these are sales that you have to test. Some you even have to go to school for. So keep that in mind before you go down that route, but all of them are super good and all of them pay very well. It's up to you on what you want. If you are wanting a lot of money to be able to provide for your family, those are all really good routes to go down. However, if you're wanting really good money and the freedom to be able to do what you want, the second option is the option that I advise for you, and that is actually getting a mentor, okay? There are a lot of different people, including myself, that actually teach sales, right? And this is not some, hey, you know, I'm trying to sell you my course or anything like that. I'm just giving you your value. Here, I wish I would have had when I was in this position. There is a lot of coaches out there. There is a lot of different mentors that can teach you the ropes. Look for the best one. Look for one that has a really good reputation, and look for one that is super honest. If you can find that, you are gonna be in good hands. And what they'll do in these programs is they'll actually walk you through step by step how to do sales, how to get your communication good. If you're somebody that's maybe a little bit more shy like I was, and you're scared and you don't really wanna talk to a lot of people, it's a good thing to choose a mentor, because what they'll do is they'll get you warmed up before you actually get put on stage. I wish I would have had this, but a lot of people will do role play, where you will actually get in with a random person that's also in the program so you can warm yourself up. That's super good before you actually get out there and get on calls, because calls are a lot different than actually role playing. And if you don't have any of that, you're gonna be very, very scared once you get on that call, because it is a nerve-wracking thing. If you have the preparation beforehand, it's not. You will do really well. So I advise mentors, and I advise that second route, because it's gonna be a lot easier for you. You're gonna learn, you're gonna understand what to do, and most importantly, you're gonna have the potential to earn way more and work way less, especially in that online sales world. Now, if you're looking for somebody, here's what I advise. Make a checklist for yourself. What are you looking for? What do you want? And of course, do they have a lot of social proof? Do their customers get success? That's super important. If you can look for those things, you are going to have a heck of a time in that program, a lot of really good relationships, and of course, you are actually going to be able to learn the skill the right way. So that is my 2 cents. That is what I would advise. That is how you can get started, and of course, why I got into sales. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope it brought some value to you. If it did, make sure and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And if you can, comment down below just so we can get more engagement. I would really like to build a community here on YouTube of just absolute savages that have big goals, all that good stuff, and go at it in the comments, right? So if you could do that, that would be much appreciated. And of course, I want to build this channel so we can get it out to more people. Thanks for watching.